Thursday, September 26th, the New York Yankees took down the Baltimore Orioles 10-1 to clinch the AL East and a spot in the ALDS. And everybody's getting too excited. I'm not too excited about it, because I think as the evil empire, this is what you're supposed to do.
To the second baseman, Cano. The Yankees are back on top. World champions for the 27th time.
So we saw Soto and Judge popping the champagne and getting all excited. But I think that this is just the first step. When you reach the ALDS, they clinched the ALDS berth. When you reach the ALDS, there's a 1 in 8 chance of you winning the World Series, 1 in 4 chance of you making it to the World Series. Oh, this is now the 9th time the Yankees have made the ALDS since the last time they've made the World Series. Forget win it. In addition, I don't think you can say, how ridiculous is it that we didn't win the World Series? But you can't say, how ridiculous is it that we made a move and then we got worse? So let's look back at the Yankees core. Since 2017, that's when this core broke out. They had veteran World Series winning manager Girardi, and he took a young and unproven team with not a lot of high expectations within one game of World Series berth, so in Game 7 of the ALCS and lost. And then they fired him. Then the next year they lost in the ALDS. How ridiculous is that they fired Girardi and then got worse? You can't say how ridiculous is it that we didn't win the World Series. So I think that the Yankees' goal this season has to be first reach the World Series. You win or lose, it will be great to win, horrible to lose. However, it's not a how ridiculous. How ridiculous is it that the Yankees haven't made the World Series since 2009? It's not how ridiculous that you didn't win. Winning the World Series is hard. It would be heartbreaking. But it's not a, come on, how could this happen? And in addition, furthermore, 2017, young, unproven squad reaches within one game of the World Series. Then they go out, they trade for a future Hall of Famer, Giancarlo Stanton, coming off a 59 home run NL MVP season. Then they somehow got worse? How ridiculous is that? 2018, they got their butts kicked by Boston in the ALDS. Their excuse was, oh, Boston had an amazing team, historic team, won 108 games, and went on to win the World Series. The very next year, Boston won 84 games, and they still couldn't get the job done. They lost in Game 6 of the ALCS to the Astros. Oh, no, we need to go get our number one guy. Yeah, sure. They go out, they sign Cole. The next year, still couldn't get the job done. They lost in the ALDS to the Rays. Then their excuse was, no, short season. You know, it's supposed to be a marathon, not a sprint. This is a real season. I don't know, Mickey Mouse World Series. The next year, they still couldn't get the job done. In 2021, they lost the AL wildcard game. Cole was horrible in the AL wildcard game. He blew it. It's like, no, I don't know. Next year, we'll get done. The next year, they still couldn't get the job done. They got to the ALCS. It's time to go get the job done. This is when they make their money. And they couldn't win a single game. It took them till the 4th game to even start scoring runs. They lost 4-0 to the Astros. Then the next year, what even was that year? They were horrible. They couldn't make the playoffs. Won 82 games to the worst season in like 30 years. Now this year they go out, they get Soto. And I think that they need to reach the World Series for it to be okay. To win the World Series, obviously that'd be amazing. Lose the World Series, heartbreaking. However, how ridiculous is it that you fired Joe Girardi? You changed everything up by going out against Stanton, giving him a massive deal. You haven't made the World Series since. The Yankees have to make the World Series for it to be acceptable. Winning the World Series, you're not going to always win the World Series. 1 in 30 teams wins the World Series. 8 billion people on the planet, 27 men win the World Series. However, how ridiculous is it that the Yankees haven't made the World Series since 2009? So in my opinion, if the Yankees make the World Series and lose, Eric Boone could stay around the block. However, if the Yankees don't make the World Series, it is time to move on from Aaron Boone. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe.
To the second baseman, Cano. The Yankees are back on top. World champions for the 27th time.